Welcome to the Monday Motivator. I read an article over the weekend on how just when we thought we were at the end of this pandemic and starting to come out of this hole, things seem to be getting worse. With a new strand, a shortage of vaccines, etc. And how mentally we're starting to sink back in that hole. As I was reading this article, I thought about the Stockdale Paradox and how this might help us focus on the light at the end of the tunnel, even though we might not be able to see the light at this point. The Stockdale Paradox refers to Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was the highest ranking United States military officer in the Hanoi Hilton prisoner of war prison camp during the Vietnam War. Tortured over 20 times during this 8-year imprisonment, Stockdale lived out the war without any prisoner's rights, with no set release, and no certainty as to whether he would even survive, much less see his family again. Years later, Stockdale was asked, "How did you survive?" Stockdale answered, "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never doubted that not only I would get out, but I would prevail in the end and turn that experience into the defining event of my life, which in retrospect, I would not trade." Stockdale was then asked about those that didn't survive the Hanoi Hilton prisoner of war camp. His response, the optimist. They were the ones who said, "We're going to get out by Christmas," and Christmas would come, and Christmas would go. Then they'd say, "We're going to get out by Easter," and Easter would come, and Easter would go. And then Thanksgiving, and then it would be Christmas again. He said they died of a broken heart. Stockdale continued with this very important lesson that I think you'll agree has relevancy today. Here's what he said: "We must never confuse faith that we will prevail in the end, which we can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of our current reality, whatever it might be." The pandemic started approximately 1 year ago, and most thought things would be back to normal by summer. Summer came, summer went. Then by fall, fall came, fall went. Then by the first of the year, then after there was a vaccine. And now they're saying things may not be back to normal until... We must never confuse faith that we will prevail in the end, which we can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of our current reality, whatever it might be. On this Monday, and in the words of the late Admiral Jim Stockdale, we must never confuse faith that we will prevail in the end, which we can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of our current reality, whatever this pandemic may bring, and however long it will take, to know there will be a light at the end of this tunnel, even though we can't see it today. Faith, discipline. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.